It's okay to do the hard thing. It's okay to be challenged in life. It's okay to feel challenged in life by your circumstances and situations. It's okay. You don't have to feel guilt. You don't have to feel shame. We've all been there. We've all gone through hard times and challenging moments that were honestly, if we're being honest, some of the biggest pillars of some good character development, if we're being honest. Now, I am here as a testimony of like, you can do the hard thing. I purposefully put myself in hard situations so that I know so that I can test my resilience to get out of it. And it sounds a little extreme, and it does sound very, very, very extreme, but I'm here to tell you, I'm here to be a testament that it's okay to challenge yourself. It's okay to do the hard thing. It's okay to be a little fearful of like, whoa, where am I about to go next? Like, what is next for me in this moment? What is genuinely next for me in this moment? Because I don't know and I can't see it for myself. It's okay. It's okay to have moments and times like that. I'm going to help you get out of it though, because that's where we need to go next. We do have to be comfortable in comfortable and self-aware, and finding comfort in knowing that I have hit a challenging spot in my life. Damn, how am I going to get out of this? Fuck. Okay. I'm gonna start with my journal. So, and this was me a year ago. I was like journaling heavily at this point in my life because it was a hard and challenging moment. Let me tell you about this moment in my life. In this moment in my life, my work life was falling apart, okay? I was in a situation where no one on my team knew what to do, knew how to tackle it, knew how to find comfort in the chaos. You know what I did? I took that as an opportunity to go deeper within myself, to figure out how the fuck do I get out of this? How do I see my team out alive? After this was October 9th, 2024. October, November, December, January. 3 months later, the lead on my team quit, and my boss came to me offering me that position. My lead did put in a good word for me, but my boss, if I'm being honest, my boss was already considering me for the job. My boss already knew who they wanted for the job, okay? Because I proved myself to be sufficient time and time again. Because I proved to myself time and time again, I can get out of challenging situations. Nothing is too challenging for me to overcome. And that's just the type of things that I had to I had to instill within myself. It didn't matter what people had told me, what speeches or motivational speeches. If you're not doing the work, you will not get there, okay? And by doing the work, not just getting your hands on it, but going deeper within. This is a main component into being able to physically do the work of overcoming the hard challenges. Now, let me explain to you what I wrote this day on October 9th, 2024. I procrastinated again. 6-page paper due today. I've done this before. Nothing new, some anxiety. I almost always do this, and it pushes me to my limit. Why do I do this to myself? What's the benefit? How do I empower myself in this moment? And I pulled an affirmation card that said, I let go and release all the tension. I drop my shoulders. I relax my face, my muscles, and just breathe. Don't forget that butterfly started as a caterpillar, and that caterpillar couldn't see tomorrow, but it kept going, and it kept growing until it broke free from its restraints, released itself, let everything else die, and emerged in the sky as a butterfly. I pulled that affirmation card right after writing this. And intuitively, I also find songs. If I'm ever going through a challenging moment or any situation period, I find that a song will pop into my head, but that's just a spiritual message being delivered onto what is going to help me get out of this situation. And for me, that song was Ari Lennox, Grounded, because in that song, she says you'll grow once you are grounded. Stay grounded and focus on achieving goals. Choose focus, steady effort, use intention. Center romantic stability. I am in a relationship, so that's specific to me. Take action without rushing. Don't procrastinate on goals. Don't jump ahead. Don't get frustrated. Which strategies are you using to embark on your new pattern? So that was really important. That was a message that was delivered onto me. And coming up with a strategy to embark on overcoming this new path of no longer procrastinating on my goals. This day, I had a 6-page paper due that night. And I don't know what that paper was about. I can't tell you a lick of anything I wrote on that paper, but I can tell you I got it done. And I can tell you I got it done because I have a 4.0. So I know I got done. This is a really interesting one. So this is the next day. Yeah. This was Wednesday, October 9th. This is the next day, Thursday, October 10th. So I accidentally let my certification lapse. I need to get it renewed. I'm experiencing guilt, shame, embarrassment about it. I'm having a hard time completing the 48-hour course. I need it done by Sunday night. The latest, I'm only 17% complete. I need to be more confident in myself and my abilities, and more confident that source and spirit will help me get there. Okay. The source and spirit did help me get there. I can tell you it got done. I have a habit of waiting all the way up until the deadline to do something. And mind you, 1 year later, I have learned that I do my best work under pressure. If you want me to do that thing and you want me to do it well, I just need to do it the day it's due so that I can focus my time and energy on my other creative projects. And I'm a student. I have a full-time 40-hour job. I have a romantic relationship. I have family. My family life be popping. And I do find that I don't dedicate enough time to my friends and dedicating the proper amount of time to completing a task that should not be done in one day. But I find that is when I do my best work. So I dedicated Sundays. I was like, okay, every Sunday, I know Sundays are my day of the week. I don't plan anything else on Sundays. If anything, I'm just running errands. I don't go anywhere and I don't see anybody unless it is pre-planned in advance. 3 weeks in advance that I'm going to be doing something on that Sunday so that I can plan accordingly to get my work done, because I will stay up and I will get my work done. This is the next day. A year ago, I was not living in this house. I didn't have the job that I have now. I didn't have the house that I have now. I was not in the situation that I am now. So I'm going to read to you Friday, October 11th, 2024. My home life isn't what I imagined it be in this moment of my life. I thought Henry and I would have a better relationship. I want us to so badly. I want us to have our own space and to have a beautiful family without having to struggle financially. I don't know how to bridge the gap to reach our desired reality. I deeply believe Henry and I were meant for more. Things are better, and I am very grateful for that. I just think our own space is the natural progression of our story. I do not want to live with our families anymore. I want us to have stable careers with high income to be able to sustain us and our future children. I have to release some negative behaviors in order to attain this, and I'm ready. Spirit and Source, I pray for the knowledge to get to this point, and I pray for your help and guidance. Why is your nose over my humidifier right now, bruv? Relax. It's for the both of us. It's for the both of us. But the intuitive message that came to me on this day was ultimate transformation, cycle leading to rebirth. Freedom arises from transformation. Change is natural. Surrender to the cycle. Create space for something new to thrive. Let go of old behaviors. Don't cling to them. Resistance can prolong the cycle. And I pull these affirmation cards, and the card that I pulled was, don't let the fear of losing people be the reason I don't say anything. I have to speak up every time my boundaries are crossed. Okay, y'all, October 11th was APAC Day, okay? And the more from the intuitive message, this is all of that. Focusing on fears won't bring abundance into your life. Shift your attention to feeling abundant. Move on from challenges. Examine your faith. You may feel lack, loss, uncertainty, but help is close at hand. You have to believe it before you see it. Believe I am abundant. Shift mindsets. Have faith in what's coming. Shift focus from material world to spiritual world in order to handle fears about stability and resources. Creative solutions will appear when you ask for divine guidance. Focus on healing, not suffering. I pulled this reversed. I'm moving away from this and believing more, but I still hold fear in my heart. I need to focus on my spiritual practices and having faith to get the confidence boost I need to release feelings of lack and loss. How can I incorporate one way I deal with emotions of lack and scarcity? By being clear with what I want and being clear with what I need and being clear with what the reality is that I'm currently in and what I want to get to. I also, like I said, I be thinking of songs. So the song that I was thinking of was from the Lion King album, the live action Keys to the Kingdom. And it says, and the lyrics essentially say to grow from your past, gotta face it. You're the keys to the kingdom. You are the remedy. Don't know what's inside, but you're the kings to the kingdom. So believe, even if you can't see, I'll never leave. So that was the intuitive message that I got that day. This video is getting long, so I'm about to actually wrap this up. Essentially, you can't overcome challenging situations. It needs to start here. It has to start here first before we physically get into what it means to tackle the situation. It has to start from within. You have to innately believe and create a belief system around doing the hard thing and overcoming hard challenges. That is where you have to start. And I say that because everybody's situation is so specific to them. Unless I know you individually, like, there's not much that I can say. But one thing I can say, because this goes for everybody, it's gonna have to start from within. You have to recognize, especially within the society that we live in, compared to other people in this world, we have a certain amount of privilege to be able to say that I can do something like this simply because of the country that I was born in and the systems that I was born under. I can focus on things like this because this is my reality. That's where I mean by you have to know what reality you are in, what your circumstances are, very specifically. in order to know what you need to build your belief system around, in order to instill within yourself the knowledge you need to overcome the hard challenges. Not only knowledge you need to overcome the hard challenges, but like I've been saying this the whole time, the faith to overcome the hard challenges. Now, I did talk a little bit about what my belief system was, and it's genuinely just believing in divine spirit. Now, I don't know what your belief systems are, and that's not important to me, because regardless of what your belief systems are, you need to figure out what reality you are in, and you need to figure out how to create your own belief system. I can tell you how I created my own belief system around like self-encouragement and discipline, if that's something that y'all want to know. But other than that, I want to talk more about knowing what particular reality you're in, because I've been in some particular realities where, for one instance, I was living with my boyfriend, his mom, in a 1-bedroom apartment with our 3 pets. In another instance, after my boyfriend was unemployed for, a duration of time. He was unemployed for a duration of time, and my vehicle was like broken down and in the shop for months. So we needed to somehow get the money for that, but also get the money, also try to find him a job that worked around him dropping me off and picking me up from work, which was really not practical, because I also worked full-time, and the hours in which he would have to take me the distance it took from where we lived to where my job was, and then for him to go to work after already driving that distance, it was not happening. And I needed to have my own vehicle in order for him to actually get like a decent job. So that was another reality. And then there was another reality where me and him were unemployed, and we were living with his brother and his ex and their kids. And I've been through some realities. Okay? This current reality I am navigating, it looks very beautiful on the outside. On the inside, I still have struggles financially, of course, like everyone. And it's just been something I'm navigating. That's all. Like every other situation I've navigated, this is what I've done to navigate those situations, to get out of those situations. And I can attest to this formula like time and time again, to help me get out of situations that I just felt like I was drowning in. Like I felt like I was never going to get out. I felt like I'm going to spend the rest of my life living in these undesired realities every single time. I don't have those same limiting beliefs. Your mind definitely does adapt to what you're going through and will try to challenge you with some more limiting beliefs, but you have to have a strong foundational understanding in what your system is to get out of these challenges. And this just so happens to be mine. I go within first. This is not even the same journal I'm showing you. I go within first. And like I said, everybody's situation is so unique. So unless I don't particularly know you, but I definitely feel like I have the gift of alchemy. And I'm just able to transmute energy very well. But I also feel like that is a skill that is learned, and it is only learned through having like resilience, and to keep trying. Oh, and I also went through a reality where I thought I was moving into a beautiful home, and the house got foreclosed on, and we had to essentially immediately vacate the premises because how dare we sign a lease and pay money to live here. Anyways, sorry, that one I'm not over yet because that one's a little recent. Anyways, I'll see you next time. that one's a little recent. I gotta go. I haven't really went in on that one yet. I need to come here. And I have done the work to get out of that situation, clearly, because I'm not in that situation no more. But I still need to get in here with my pen, and really delve deeper into those emotions about it, because that whole time that happened, I did not journal, because I journaled right before I moved into that house, thinking like, yeah. And then like that happened. Oh my gosh. That happened, and then I did not journal until the middle of that situation. I said, just to catch you up, the place we picked to live got foreclosed on 5 days after we moved. Work has been challenging to navigate. We'll be trying to keep the peace until we move again. Ooh. We move again at the end of this month. We have to be out by the 28th. Now that my anxiety around the situation is easing, I've been trying to recreate the peace at work. I've been letting other people's thoughts and opinions outweigh my own. And I'm the lead. I know what's best for my team. That was September 7th. Gosh, now it's November. And I journaled again this past week. Another catch up in my life story, I guess. That's what I've been doing here. But, oh my gosh. Now that I'm looking back, before that, I'm trying to overcome this challenging situation of simply just letting go of the experience that happened to me, because I'm out of it. Like, why does it still bother me, you know? But before I was even in that situation, I said, truthfully, expel the negative thought patterns you have around money and what it means to be financially wealthy or well off. When you meditate, make sure it's around attracting unique experiences. That generate the income you're seeking, and that it encompasses all of your strengths and is specifically aligned for you and what feels right for you. It might sound corny, but self-help books around what it means to make money and for it to be spiritually aligned. Podcast 2. It truly starts with rewiring your subconscious mind. It can be hard to get into the right mindset because of everything that's going on in the world and our own personal negative relationships around money. Now, it's time to be more realistic here. Along the journey, you may feel like guilty or shameful around wanting to manifest money, and it's going to be challenging to work through, or be angry at the universe and God for blessing you with certain opportunities you prayed for while others somewhere are suffering. Truly, I just focus on what all my experiences in life have led me to. And if that means I can also be someone else's liberation, then that's a beautiful thing. This is also a narrow line between having a savior complex, if it's rooted in feeling better about yourself after you do something for someone else, as in like quid pro quo, a favor or advantage granted for or expected in return for something else, to really tap into what you're looking for is manifesting experiences. The concept of constantly being focused on the future causes anxiety and fear. True satisfaction has nothing to do with material goals. I was just like going in. I don't even think I had like a real like end goal with whatever I was saying here, but that's just like what I was feeling, because in actuality, I just felt like that's everything that I did to get out of the situation that I was in, that I did not want to be in anymore. Because my boyfriend and I read I think I read an excerpt of that already. We didn't want to live with our families anymore. Like, we don't want that reality for ourselves. How can we create a reality where we are in control? So instead, and so the situation in turn ended up being, instead of us living with our families, now our family is living with us. So it's different, you know. I mean, it's essentially just who gets the biggest from here. Anyways, so now we are trying to navigate a reality of where we want some of our family members, like, of course we have his mom living with us, like, that's his mom. But we do have other visitors here as well. So how do we push these people to be the best versions of themselves while we're here? How can we cultivate an environment where somebody feels safe enough to spread their wings and fly and be able to do everything that we've done for themselves, you know, and continuing to still build community without building resentment? And that's a challenge for me. That's challenging for me, because it's an environment where resentment can be built easily, but you just have to remember. Like, the foundation of literally everything is love, and everything is a mirror. So now I'm at a point in my life where, like, now I have to hold the mirror back up to somebody else of, like, this is kind of how you treated me in this situation when the tables were turned, but now that the tables are turned, this is how I'm going to treat you, because it's the right thing to do, because that's the reality that I've cultivated for myself. And clearly you need help cultivating that same reality for yourself. So I guess that's what's is happening here. You know, so there's no hard feelings. It's just the way life was meant to happen, for myself and the people involved in the situation. Now, like I said, I don't know everybody's individual situation in the world. This is what I've been able to replicate, because I understand my reality and the tools that I was given. I had to literally sit down and think about what tools were given to me to make a life for myself. And living in this society, yes, I do face certain challenges, but I'm not thinking of myself in the society of just living in America. I'm thinking of myself on a global aspect. I am so much more privileged than someone in a different country that's going through situations where they're just seeing death all day, every day, and their entire society has collapsed around them. I have to also think, if I was in that position, I would have to face certain realities a lot sooner. Like, if I were to pass on to the next life, if I were to pass on to the next plane of existence, what would life look like for me? Like my thoughts and what I would be saying right now to you would be entirely different. So like you have to understand, like I am speaking from like a place of where I'm talking and hoping this video finds people who needed to hear this. I'm not necessarily speaking to relate to the entire world. I'm just speaking to relate to the people that needed to hear this, because this video is going to find who it needs to find. Um, so yeah. So yeah. And I've also just reached that state where, like, yeah, actually, I think I did execute my thoughts pretty well on that. And I have to recognize that, like, I also feel deeply, I feel so deeply for people who did not come from the situation that I came from, being a working class family in America. And I also have to understand that there were people here in my own community that don't live as nicely as I do, even though I wouldn't be considered. Like, if y'all saw how much was in my bank account right now, like, you would not be envious of me at all. Um, like, you would not be envious of me at all if you saw what was in my bank account. So, or if you just knew what I was actually, like, experiencing, like, or if you knew that, like, actually we're surrounded by nothing but boxes right now. I'm sitting on a couch with no cushions right now. Like, okay, I need to get off here. I'm talking way too much. But yeah. I'm sitting on top of, like, stacked pillows right now on a couch with no cushions, surrounded by boxes right now. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's the reality of the situation. I'm not speaking from a place of perfection or like I have it all figured out, because I don't have it all figured out at all. But I can definitely, like, talk about getting your mindset in order to put it all together, to get it figured out, because that's essentially, like, the part of life that I've unlocked, of just purely, like, I know I am divinely blessed and guided by the universe. I'm sitting on a couch with no cushions, but I have a beautiful house over my head. So you win some, you lose some. I don't give a fuck about the couch. I'm still divinely blessed and guided by the universe. So, you just... but yeah, I can definitely talk about getting in the right mindset to, like, get your bearings together to get to the next point in life that you need to get through. I am so used to, like, hunkering down and locking in and being like, I understand this is not the life that I envisioned for myself, and I need to find a way out of the situation. Now that I have this house with no furniture, I'm like, oh, I need to get out of this situation so badly. What do I need to do to get out of this? And I decided I would share my journey along the way, because I've come so far. I shared the realities of existences that I've overcame already. And this is just another one of those planes of existences that I'm in, that I know that there's a reality on the other side of this. So it's whatever at this point. Life keeps going, and energy never dies. It's just recreated and repurposed. So that's all that is. Like, one day my body will be bones and ashes, but my consciousness will still be here. How do I want to live my eternity, And how do I want to move on to the next plane of existence? And in what mindset do I need to get there in, you know? So I'm not seeking in this life to be a billionaire or whatever. I'm just seeking to find peace and comfort when that day comes, like we all are, you know? So that's essentially what we're all doing here. Like I said, I've been talking a little too much, so I'll see you next time.